Hey guys, welcome to the next episode in Let's Play Football Manager Return to Liverpool, and this is the February review for the 2029-2030 season. So we are now into a new decade, and I have to apologise straight away if I sound like sounds like I'm repeating myself, but I know I'm repeating myself because this is my second take at doing this, as the first take was held up several days ago through several interruptions. I actually did that couple hours after Margaret Thatcher died. A few people will probably want to know my opinion on that, because obviously Liverpool fan, but all that type thing. And well, sorry to disappoint, I'm not going to come out and go, well, hey, ding dong, the witch is dead and all that, because I was born in 1991, and fortunately I was not alive to go through her misdemeanors, shall we say. And I just have no opinion, quite honestly. I'm not going to be a dick about things. That's not how I do it. Anyway, onto the save here. This is how the league looks. So, as you can see, second place, only a point behind Man City. Not too bad. The real reason, though, Man City, as you can see, the probable reason why they are so far ahead is just look at that goal difference. It's plus 52. Now, the goals against is no big deal. I mean, we've conceded one more than them. Big whoop. But if you look at Arsenal and Chelsea as well, we've all scored 48 goals. But City are out and away there on 71 goals. That is amazing. And it's February, as you want to point out. That's not the end of the season. It's February. There's still 3 or 4 months left yet. I think it'll be 3 months through about 3.5 months as there is the World Cup, which I will tell you about in the next video. It will be in the next video, as it will be taking place, or it might. Yeah, I think it may have even finished by then. So I will tell you more about that. Incidentally, we've got as well Aston Villa up in 6th. Brighton, I don't know what's happened. Well, I know what's happened to Brighton. Just look at this for starters. Just check this out. Every review, they appear to have a new manager nearly. And if I just show you, manager. So I left in 2026. They then hired Guardiola. Fair enough. He was obviously the United manager, and he moved. They then sacked him 2 years later, virtually to the day nearly. They then hired Jurgen Klopp, sacked him not even half a year. They then brought in Viktor Goncharenko, sacked him less than a year. And now we have Elliot Chamberlain, who I believe who did he manage? He's only 37 as well, good God. He was the Aston Villa manager. He's the reason why Villa are actually really, really good. So he's obviously only just come in. He hasn't had a chance to really, put a stamp on the team yet. So I will give him a chance. But just look at the team. What are they doing? They're just getting rid of all my players. I mean, Panucci's still there. Martin's still there, who's turned into an absolute quality player. One of the most attacking DMCs I've ever seen. Nowakowski's still there. He's getting on a bit now. He's 32. Lothar Witsam he's done okay. He's 20, but he's unhappy. I can only assume he's not been picked. Still can't believe they got Josh Johnson in there. Atalay is still going there. I kind of wish I hadn't bought him now, because I would have loved to have used him at Liverpool. Imagine him and Wallace. When did I actually sign him? Right when Barry Wallace actually came to Liverpool. So imagine him and Wallace. That would have been incredible. That would have just been unstoppable. Utterly unbelievable. But to be fair, they've brought in some good players as well. And then Zestoval, who I brought in, he's turned into a bit of a beast. Adami's turned into a very good player. Alex Ritzy looks to be pretty good now. Ronald Custers is still there, obviously. He's only 31, God. But they've brought in some good players. Yannick Traore is probably the best left back on the game, or at least he was for a period of time. Let's see who else we have. Someone else I want to. Oh yeah, Andre Palacios. He's an excellent player. He's Colombian, and he's an excellent right winger. Probably the reason why he's so unhappy. You can't get in front of him. Then again, to be honest here, I'll know. Boo-hoo! I can't get in front of a big team player. One of the big key players in the team. Stop your whinging. What else do we have? Going over, Tottenham are the highest they've been in a long while. They've not had a particularly good campaign over the last. Didn't have a particularly good 20s. Tottenham. I guess I should go over, let's just have a look at sort of retrospective of the 20s. So this was the year, I suppose, Brighton really sort of broke in. There's that sort of, Brighton in 2018, 2019. We never really broke through. But this is the year Brighton and Liverpool, I guess, broke through. As you can see, United carried on their dominance. The Manchester clubs continued their dominance, which I guess went from 2011 to 2021. So that was 10 years of just all Manchester. Look at that. United, City, 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 United, City, City, United, 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 Brighton. There you go. And then they still wouldn't let up. It was still United. We did that weird thing where we sort of swapped the thing. None of us could win it back-to-back until I did eventually do it in 2025-26. It took a long time, but I did eventually get back-to-back titles. And, well, let's be fair, I've won it 3 times in a row at Liverpool. I've won it twice in a row at Brighton. I've got it 5 times in a row. I know that's not... I think I won it... How many... There was that record I did do with Liverpool on FM12. I think I won it. I think it was 6 times in a row. I think it was 6. I did 6 times in a row, but that was not with the same team, so I'm not going to count it. But hopefully, I can break him in Chelsea. Look at that, runners up. But look at City, actually, 4 times. Bloody hell. But you get the idea. I'm sure you do. Look, that's what I mean about how close Liverpool were. I mean, with the exception of this season, where I think Bilic just had an off year. They came very close, and I still, I will still admit, I take no credit for building this. Well, I built a quarter of this team. I'm going to take a credit for a quarter of it, but it's mostly Slaven Bilic. I will hold my hands up and say, look, don't think I'm the greatest thing ever, because I'm not. Transfers. Let's go over the transfers. So the players out first, a lot of loans. Tom King has gone, and you'll see the reasons why in a moment. He's not even getting on. I mean, he's 34. That's not bad for a goalkeeper. I mean, Brad Friedel's 40 odd, and he's still getting games, so it's no problem. I still can't get rid of Keno. I'll just go back to King. Actually, let me put it this way: he was brought in as basic cover. I didn't even think he was going to last the season. He came in for 3 seasons and did very, very well. He can leave with his... The game might not see it as that, but he can certainly leave with his head held high. He did very well and came in, won things and totally surpassed all expectations. I still can't get rid of Keno, which is annoying. And then down here, we moved down here to £26 million worth of Tommy Wright. Now he's at Lyon. Why is he at Lyon? He's 24. What happened? Well, it was weird because when he was 19, 20, I set an asking price of him at £20 million. Now, that went unchanged. I'm thinking, no one's ever going to want to pay that for a 20-year-old. And as he got older and older and older, his value increased and actually went beyond the £20 million barrier. And I obviously forgot to change it. I didn't think to change it because no one was actually bidding him. And then Arsenal came in from nowhere in the summer and bid £20 million. And I obviously rejected that. And before I could even, raise his asking price, Mr. Wright here got really annoyed with me and said, I want to talk to Arsenal. Now, it wasn't down to the fan. I mean, he is a Liverpool fan. I don't know why he got upset wanting to talk to... I think he's a Liverpool fan. Oh, no, actually, that probably explains it then. I was under the impression he was a Liverpool fan, but he clearly is not. Well, I guess his favourite club is not Liverpool, therefore he wants to go. Yeah, for some reason he came through the youth academy, did all that, yet he wanted to go. Now, I didn't force him out, I didn't do anything like that at all. He just got upset with me that I was not allowing him to talk to other clubs. I don't know why. He just got upset for no apparent reason, really, as far as I can see. So I put the price as high as I could. Originally, it went from 30 to 28 to 27 to 26, and then Leon finally submitted and went for £26 million for him. £26 million profit on a player that brought through the academy who didn't want to be here. Fine by me. Jay Lacey, he's also gone. I finally managed to get rid of him. Not quite good enough, really. Didn't do anything wrong. Lincoln just kind of came out of nowhere again. That's one thing I will give FM and SI credit for this year. They have pretty much fixed the rubbish transfer system that we've been struggling with over the last 3 or 4 years in FM. The FM12 transfer system was a pain. You'd have a world-class player here who wants to leave, and you'd offer him out for like nothing, and no one would be interested. Now, you can get players like Jay Lacey for £1 million. Again, another product of the youth system. Not quite good enough. Wants to bring in someone else who could fill his shoes, and I hope that's what I've done. And then a few more loan signings. See, I can't get rid of Keno. He just won't go. No one wants to actually buy him. Everyone just wants to loan him to see if he's any good. And we're going to go over the players I brought in. So I managed to raise 27 million on top of about the 30 or 40 million transfer budget I had. I think it was about 35 there or thereabout. And we have Jonah Villa, who I can absolutely say right now was a massive mistake in buying for £3 million. Tottenham actually lost money on him, but I can see why, because he's actually crap. One thing I need to stop doing is getting lured into buying players with 1.5 star potential. I've done that several times now. Shiba Miura was another one, the Japanese left back. He wasn't actually no good. I thought he was going to be, good enough backup, but he's not. He just isn't. He's crap. So yeah, we'll gloss over him. I think he may be leaving in the summer. We'll come back to the goalkeeper, Till Spielmakers. Yes, a few people were wondering how I was going to be able to pronounce this guy's name. Yes, I think that is how you pronounce it. He's only actually no. I'll go over him now since I've clicked on his name. He's 23 now. You're looking at that and thinking, really, £29 million for a goalkeeper. Now, yes, I admit that is probably a bit steep. That's very steep, actually. But just look where he's going from. He is 5-star potential, and I think he's like 4.5-star ability. Yep, 4.5-star ability. He's 23, and stats are fantastic. To me, that just... And also, I would rather spend the money, have a goalkeeper for 15 years... and stop everyone else from having him. Yeah, he could have easily gone to Chelsea or City. I probably would have gone to City. I'm surprised no one bid for him. The problem was, the reason I paid £29 million was because West Ham were being incredibly stubborn. I could not get him for less. I even tried to take it down to 28.5, and they would still say no. They wanted the full whack at 29. So it was take it or leave at 29 million, and I thought, fine. He's been listed for quite a while now. He's been listed for 2 or 3 years because he wants to move to a bigger club, because he's clearly too big for West Ham. If you look at where they are, it's a world-class goalkeeper. We're talking about literally, the next Iker Casillas, Neuer, I don't know, Buffon, someone, whoever. Or Schmeichel, even if you want to take the name there. He's got a lot of real good potential in him, and I saw that pay £29 million. I've got a world-class goalkeeper for 15 years, and that's another goalkeeper the rivals can't have. So I was happy to go for him from there. Next one is Hicham Matouni, a French player, 3.5 stars potential. Good little player. He's only 18, coming through. Wes Linord, next one, another French. I'm not turning into Newcastle. Don't worry, I'm not going to buy a shitload of French players. He's a left back. He's 21. He was probably one of the better left backs on the game at the moment that I was within reason of being able to purchase. It wasn't, because the left backs and right backs, for that matter, are very difficult to find. That's why Lyon paid so much for right, because right and left backs are very, very rare, especially good ones. And speaking of which, there's Juan Jordana. He's only 16, but he is 5-star potential. So, I was certainly not going to pay that one up. And I've used that old chestnut of putting a scout out. I think he was, these players, Matouni and Jordana and Carlos as well, who is another goalkeeper. He's 17 though, so he's got out a while yet. And I think that might spell the end for Francisco Godoy. Not sure. I'll have to see. Try and rotate them too. But I've got this lad coming through soon as well. These Matouni, Carlos and Jordana were all found by my scout, who I've done to find players on youth contracts or between, at least with potential of good or better, so 3 stars or maybe 2.5 stars, I think it might be, and find them and bring them to me. Basically, that's what he did. So then the players. Let's see how we got on. So Spielmakers and Avila were brought in the summer. These 4 have been brought in January, so these have really not had much of a chance to play. Wright incidentally, basically wanted to leave right after the transfer window shut, because that's how it works. The players on this game don't have any sense of deadlines. Deadlines don't mean anything to anyone else on this game except you, apparently. Because I've had players come to me literally the day after they've gone on holiday asking for first team football. I shit you not, seriously. I've never been so annoyed but started laughing because how just pathetic it was. It was like a player saying, I've not had enough first team football. Mate, go on holiday. You're getting paid £100,000 a week to go on holiday. Now fuck off, type of thing. And what else? And again, Tommy Wright, literally after the transfer window shut, he's like, I want to leave. well, why didn't you tell me yesterday? It's so annoying. Anyway, so the fixtures. We started with a Tour of America. Let's not go over that because the friendlies don't matter, and neither does this. But we won it anyway, and that was the Community Shield. Where Arsenal Spielmacher's got his Liverpool career off to a flying start with 8.5 rating. Not quite man of the match. Barry Wallace. Ruben Juarez took that. He has been I've run out of praises for this lad. He has been unbelievable. So consistent. It's incredible. 3-0 against Ipswich in the opening game of the season. That's at Portman Road. Played a slightly understrength. When I say understrength, what I'm doing more and more now is bringing in young players into the team, but really pushing it. Don't literally take the term phrase. So I'll start that one again. Don't take the phrase too literally when I say I like them young. You can make all the paedophile jokes you want out of that, but what I mean is, I try to get as many 16, 17-year-olds into the team, get them as much first team experience as possible, so when they turn 18, 19, they're already, sort of up there in terms of, players' experience. That's what I've done with Crowder, that's what I've done with Kemp. Goodeve was even one, Farbarker's been another one, Junior was another one, Chris Chubb was another one. I'm still not going to refer to him as that because it's stupid. But you can see the referee, despite being sympathetic, was throwing cards all over the place, but I'll show you these now. And I was very happy with this because Goodeve and Crowder, who both came through the youth system, scored on the opening day, and I was like, playing a team here with, so I've still got the experience of like Tage and Camarota and all that. But lovely goal from Crowder. Now he's not the most. He's weird, Crowder, because he doesn't usually go on these mazy runs. He's not like a Michael Owen. He's not, he's not one of these mazy players, but he is very capable of doing them. He just doesn't do it. But he's also very capable of being a poacher like that. He's weird because some games he goes missing, and then other games he just turns it on, like superbly. But one thing he always does though is find himself in a right position most of the time. It doesn't necessarily mean he'll find the target, but a lovely setup there for Goodeve, who started out as a striker, as you know, but he has been brought back into the centre midfield. I think that is where he gets more involved in the game that way. As a striker, he usually gets a bit isolated, especially when he's the only one up front. If obviously they're playing the formation. We then went first game in Anfield. Lopez got us a victory over Chelsea, which was good, and then we went to the DW with a 3-0 victory. Jimmy Crowder scoring again, so he started the season on fire. We've got him, Farah, and Han Jae-yoon scoring. He's been a superb assistant, not necessarily for Liverpool, but for me. 30 now, he's been with me now for 6 years. Bought in for relatively little money. He's been superb considering his average ratings and his performances and so on. I say that though, he wasn't particularly good. Well, then again, kind of underestimated Nottingham Forest here. It always tends to do when you see them, because although they are 18th, they actually, believe it or not, had a decent start to the season. I think they were sort of top to mid-table, so they actually did quite well. The Champions League, fairly standard group. Honestly, I don't think I could have picked a more Eastern group of Spartak Moscow of Russia, Shakhtar Donetsk of Ukraine, and Fenerbahce of Turkey, and then Liverpool of England. I mean, they're derbies. They're the equivalent of derbies in the Champions League, and then you've got us, like 6,000 miles away, or however hell far we are from Moscow. But yeah, this is how we did anyway. As you can see, we did very well. Didn't lose. 2 draws and 4 wins. One of them was against Fenerbahce, Barry Wallace scoring the winner. And then here's Zimmerman Cuevas, who I jokingly compared to Deadmau5 last time, as his surname is also Zimmerman. But we got a draw here. Spartak, as I say, are very good. They have won the Champions League previously. That team has slowly disbanded, though. See, 10 years ago, they won the Champions League against Chelsea in Athens, but have done very, very well over the course of the tournaments. So yeah, they're pretty decent. So a draw there wasn't the end of the world. We then went to Ukraine, and Vladislav Gordon obviously going to the Ukraine. He is part Ukrainian, of course. Oops. I just click on him. Where is he? There he is. With a name like Vladislav, he has to be part something, even though he is Portuguese. Of course, nationalities, or the nationality, Ukrainian, and of course he does speak Ukrainian. So it was always going to be him to score the goals, wasn't it? Obviously. And then I think Avia may have even scored his first goal there against Shakhtar. Lopez and a Zakharov own goal. It was the point that I think that pretty much guaranteed us all the way through already by that stage. And then, I can tell Barry Wallace incidentally coming off the bench to score a hat-trick against Fenerbahce. Also, Suleiman Koulibaly, remember him? Yep, put him on a free, let him go at the end of that. Thought he was getting on a bit now, he's 35. Thought maybe I'd let him go. What were the chances of him going to Fenerbahce and then us getting matched up with Fenerbahce? Well, he only went and bloody scored against us, obviously. Incidentally, here's another one you might not recognise. This is Greg Wilson. As you can see, I bring them in. He's not that great, actually. I just played him just to see what happened. And actually, in fairness, he scored. So, I'm not going to argue. And then finally, Zimmerman Cuevas again, scoring against us. He always scores against us when we play Spartak. But Bunyak got us a point, so not bad. And that allowed us to finish top of the group. So, all in all, fairly standard. But Spartak did give us a bit of a run for our money. But also so did Man City, 2-1 here at Anfield. They actually won. Unfortunately, Lopez missed a penalty, and that would have put us back 2-1 up. But unfortunately, Dudale and Chatson, I hate these fucking names, man. There's always some sort of wacky Greek name. Yeah, Greek. Chatzitafanu. Yeah, there you go. Chatzitafanu. For them, gave them the win. No one was particularly bad. Lopez, as I say, missed the penalty, but I think that probably warrants less than a 6.7, to be honest. I think that's pretty poor. But we bounced back with a 3-0 win over Aston Villa, who, as I say, that was it actually came up on the game. Giants drawn together, and that's what Farah, Wallace, and Kostrov made very light work of them. Then playing Tottenham, Merman scored, as well as Kostrov off the bench. Wright, incidentally, still playing at this point. I think he actually said it in October, strangely. I think I kept putting it off, and then I sort of faced up to him, so that was it. And then, obviously, the former West Brom man, Lopez, scored a hat-trick against them to win a great game, 4-3, 2 penalties. It was all over the place, this one. It really was. It was back and forth, bit of a, as the game might describe it, a ding-dong battle. But 1-1, next one, against Brighton. Rubio scoring against his old club. However, Brighton seem to have another young starter here called Dioko Tambui, who plays up front. He can also play on the wings. Looks like a good little player, another Frenchman. I think France are starting to get another golden generation going here, apparently. This guy's really good, and thankfully Martin got injured, but he's very good. Very Steven Gerrard-like is this Martin player. He's very very enthusiastic. He's got a great shot on him, and he's got a lot of good captain potential. 3-0 against Millwall. Kostrov off the bench with 2, and Wallace with 1 on his own. Fairly standard game again. Nice defeat to Millwall. And then 2-0 against West Brom. Elite got off the bench, and I played another bunch of kids here. Kyle Gito. I think it's a Gito. It's Welsh. God knows how on earth you pronounce it, really. 4-star potential centre-back. He's only 19, but he looks very good. Where are we? It doesn't default back to the thing. I'll have to stop clicking off it. Where is it? There it is. Bill Rogers is another one, youngster. Jack Pilkington, another. Did okay, I suppose. 2-1 against Southampton. Mickey Farah scoring 2 to give us the victory. But guess when he did it? Oh, no, he didn't. That's the wrong game. Sorry, I'm thinking of another one. Blackburn, Alega and Kostrov. I'll go back to that one later. Got us a point today with Park. Blackburn, incidentally, are actually pretty decent. As you can see, they're 7th. They're not going to break the bank. They're not going to rule the Premier League or anything, but they are another one of those mid-table teams that buzzes around the top and annoys everyone. Yeah, I'm sure you know what I mean when I say that. 1-0 against West Ham. Mikel Farah off the bench. I think, was this the one? Yeah, 80th minute. There you go. Finally, I thought it was going to be one of those days. Took Greg Wilson off. He was useless. Villa and Rogers came off as well. Here's another one for you. Very, very excited about this guy, Richard Russell. He's a 4.5-star centre midfielder. He's from Bootle, so Jamie Carragher territory. Can't understand a word he says, probably. But nevertheless, he looks very, very good, and he had a decent game here. 2-1 against Arsenal. Mikel Farah scoring again. He is on some form at the moment. There you go. That's the one I was thinking of. 93rd minute at the Emirates. I'll show you this now. Arsenal, incidentally, I think their team is slowly sort of disintegrating. It's not a terrible team by any means, but they are slowly... I can sort of sense them, sort of slipping away and sort of doing what Liverpool did in the 90s, sort of replacing them with rather average players with, stars, sort of or I guess sort of gems located in the dirt, shall we say. Not very good. I play Tottenham, another North London club. Plays off the bench. Again, Greg Wilson, not particularly good. Gaston Ruiz, I think he wasn't match fit though, so we'll let him off there. I played Tommy Wright. I wanted to get the most out of him before he went. I think it might have even been down to injury and rotation as well, I think. And then Man United 1-1 at Anfield. Wallace scored us a point. Kobe Moore was a little bit off again. I don't think he was all that match fit. I keep forgetting to take into account match fitness. You really got to remember that. It's a big thing. 2-0 against Villa. Wallace and Ferrer scoring. 5-2 against Huddersfield. Joanna Villa scoring 2, which was good for him. Wallace, Ferrer and Camarota. So you can see Mikel Ferrer really is on form at the moment, isn't he? Crowder, Kemp and Kostrov and their own goal got us a 4-1 victory over Crewe. Now this was a really, really young team. Farbarker, here's Paul Keeling, who's 17 years old. I think he was 16 at the time. Decent left back, although I have brought in someone else at this point. I think I was slightly, this was before I brought in, was it Leenord, I think, or someone. Zhang Yuming, Yuming. That's seriously his name. It's something you hear schoolgirls call each other. Yuming. That's my impression of a Scouse girl. Four-star could be, him and Agito could be the future. We've also got Russell again performing well. Good Eve had a good game. Kemp, Crowder. Kemp is, he's he's a great player, isn't he? He's excellent. He was 4-star. He's gone down a bit now, but he's 20. And he's one of the top players in the world. 1-0 against Cardiff, I should say. Moorman scoring. And there's Keeling playing again. Again, I'm just trying to give as many kids the opportunity as I can, against the, obviously, rotation over the Christmas period. I should stress that very much so. It was Christmas. You've got to rotate the team. The games come thick and fast. And that's what I did with Peterborough. Guito, unfortunately, got himself sent off. But Yaya Toure came off the bench and got us the win. And Kemp scoring the winner against Ipswich on New Year's Day 2030. So we ended the year on a high, only losing 2 games, as you can see, and this is that's how the team. The crowds didn't have a particularly good game, but we then had a chance to play again a really young team here. This was Carlos's debut. They had a good game. Bastien Farbarker plays Jean, Aguiso, Avia, Ruiz scoring, Kemp, Wallace off the bench, obviously, to give us a victory over Hereford, who are actually a good little team. They're now in the Championship. Oh, sorry, no, they're not. They're in League One. Paul Ince is the manager. That explains a lot. Excuse me. Excuse me, that was terrible. They were in the Championship. They have, however, been relegated. And then we played, believe it or not, Ipswich in the Capital One Cup semi-final. And we battered them. We absolutely tore them apart. Juarez got 2, Kostrov got 2, and Wallace also scored as we demolished them at Portman Road. I don't know what happened there. We just turned up. They didn't. 3-1 against Wigan. Crowder got 2 again, and Wallace also adding to the score sheet. And then finally, we got defeated for the first time since September, and we went 2-1 down to Chelsea. Unfortunately, Wallace did get us a goal, but it was not enough. We then played. Check this out. I then played the weakest team I could. Juan Cortana came and had a shocking game. Russell also had a shocking game. Yu Ming had a Tepijan, whatever you want to call it, and crowd was awful. 5-2, obviously. 7-5. Take this one with a pinch of salt, right? We were already through, okay? I just want to point that out. I know losing 5-2 to Ipswich, but this was... We'll put it to you this way. Average age, 17, 18, 19, 17, 16, 17, 20-something, 19, 17, 19. That's like the average age of that team was like 19 or 20. Come on, give me a break there. But happily played the full-strength team there against Tottenham, and we won 2-0. Lopez with the goal, and I think, what games we got? I think this is the last one. Nottingham Forest, 4-1. Glukov, Camarota, and Wallace with 2. So that is how things look, and we're due to play Tottenham again in the league. So that is how things stand currently. Let's have a look at the player stats then. Dudale is top, and so is McDonald. None of our players, strangely enough, are top. Barry Wallace is just about in the average rating column there. If we look at our goals, though, I think they might be because they're all spread out. Wallace with 17, not his greatest tally in the world, although the goals have been spread out, as you can see. Kostrov with 12, Ferry with 9, Lopez with 8, Crowder in his full season, I think I'd probably call this a full season, with 6, not bad so far. 4 for Camarota, and then the rest 3, 2, and 1. Assist-wise, let's have a look at the assists. We've got Junior, who unfortunately is injured at the moment, so that's my son, on 9. Kemp, Camarota and Wallace and Lopez on 6. Yusuf Tage, the right back and left back, on 5. And Bunyak on 5 and 4-3-2-1 downwards. So that's pretty decent, I'd say. We're having a good old rough and tumble season. Who are we going to be playing in the Champions League, though? That's one other point I should make. We're going to be playing West Brom in the FA Cup, and then we're going to be playing Sporting Lisbon in the Champions League knockout round. I don't know what you'd make of that. I mean, bear in mind, we could have got Real Madrid, we could have got Bayern Munich, we could have got Inter Milan, we could have got Porto. Nope, we got Sporting Lisbon. Fair enough. So that's going to do it for me. We've got Kino and Shiba Miura, hopefully buggering off soon, and I will get back to you then at the end of the season. So thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.